to Speak Up. Welcome back to our show. Pay attention. In the video that will follow my presentation, you'll find out why Ben Affleck's 16-employee AI company was so valuable that he was just now able to sell this 16-employee AI company to Netflix for $600 million. You will hear certain keywords. You will see what those keywords mean to the entire film entertainment industry in Hollywood and worldwide. Today, I'm going to talk about the effects of AI on human employment. It's not robotic deployment. What I'm talking about is AI causing human unemployment. The large companies using AI are coming to you to try to convince you that there will not be large-scale unemployment for recent college graduates of all types at the bottom of the white-collar skills ladder. So you will not organize defensively. You will not defend an engineer's understanding, the scientist's analysis, the entrepreneur's insight, the financier's judgment, and the lawyer's interpretation. All of this will be replaceable by AI. Listen, read. You will find that what took a lifetime to build through human expertise, human judgment, and specialized knowledge can now be replaced in seconds. Expertise is becoming expendable. You probably have read about executives celebrating their companies replacing 95% of its workforce with a technology that costs less than a single employee's monthly salary. The profitability on investment relative to its cost, called ROI, return on investment. This replacement savings is compelling. The cost to the human being is never mentioned. The return on investment in AI, the cost of savings to the company, is celebrated. No one mentions the termination notices or the families that will lose their health insurance, the mortgages that will go unpaid, the college dreams postponed, perhaps forever. Multiply this by thousands of companies across America, then you will understand why we're seeing such deep financial, economic, social, and political fractures. Job cuts in the United States tipped 1 million in 2025. 55,000 were directly attributed to AI in 2025. Researchers say 200,000 to 300,000 of those jobs will never be backfilled. There were layoffs in tech finance. Who would think tech finance? At BlackRock, Citigroup, in logistics and retail such as Target and Best Buy. BlackRock and HR slashed 4,000 jobs, citing AI-driven productivity gains, as noted in February 27, 2026. Amazon and Salesforce cut thousands of human roles, citing AI as the reason. Block, the Square, Cash Apps, based on its 2025 performance, said it would cut 40 to 50% of its staff in 2026. Amazon said it was cutting 14,000 corporate roles, not back office, to improve profit by using AI agents to decrease management layers. UPS is cutting 4% of jobs, that's 20,000 people, as it goes to automation and AI. Dow, 4,000 jobs. Microsoft on September 25, 2025 said it was becoming an AI-first company. 5RR, the free platform is using the term right sizing to justify a 30% cut in human employees. This is a story of AI intelligence. It's not the sanitized version you are hearing over the media, or Washington or Silicon Valley's PR machines, or the newspapers owned by people such as the Murdochs, or even Maersk. Behind the carefully crafted press releases, short-form industry leadership presentations lies a staggering truth most Americans simply cannot comprehend. AI has now crossed a critical intelligence threshold. It is surpassing the intellect of 95% of humans on Earth. 95% of humans. And developer big tech firms are eager to share with you, the public. This is not just another technological milestone. It is a fundamental species-level turning point. What does that mean? AI systems are routinely outperforming highly educated professionals in their own specialized fields. That means those professionals' jobs are being discontinued. These systems are so advanced that they can replicate the work of entire departments. Unlike human intelligence, these capabilities are improving and being deployed at mind-boggling rates of speed. The industry leaders, many of whom own the media station and papers, want you to believe that you are not being displaced. That is why the headlines do not seem so alarming. They say employment figures are stable. That is what the industry leaders want you to think. What the media is not telling you is that AI is already devastating the American workforce. That is why a preponderance of recent college graduates cannot find a job. The media owned by the richest companies owners say, look at the employment rate. Unemployment is still low. What is the brutal reality? When a company implements AI, they do not typically fire their entire workforce. That would cause too much alarm. They stop replacing workers who leave. They restructure. Do you remember the word restructure recently? Over and over again? Restructure means eliminating human jobs, positions. The employment numbers do not capture this silent erosion of economic power. They do not show how AI is gradually hollowing out the middle class, position by position, department by department. The evidence is where you don't know to look. Look at the Job Quality Index. The Wall Street Journal, owned by Rupert Murdoch and his family, will not point you to it. The Washington Post, owned by Jeff Bezos, won't. Fox News, also owned by the Murdoch family, won't. Think of X, owned by Musk. They and news outlet owners like them represent the interest of the biggest businesses, not the ordinary worker or middle-class employee or small or medium-sized business. The Job Quality Index tracks whether newly created roles are high quality versus low quality. Newly created roles. It shows how our economy has been replacing stable, high-wage jobs with lower-paying, less secure ones. Companies are not just eliminating jobs, they are systematically downgrading. I will repeat that. They are systematically downgrading the jobs. The jobs are being stripped of meaning and status. They pay less. The incentive to change jobs has plummeted to its lowest level since 2020. Why? because AI is equalizing and degrading jobs across companies. How is it doing that? Through hours cuts instead of layoffs. That means they pay for the hours worked. Pay raises rising more slowly, using part-time workers who hope for full-time work. Employers being choosy, which pushes workers into jobs below their prior level or leaves them taking what is available. It is about to get much worse. Our own government is creating the exact blueprint for the most aggressive workforce replacement in American history. Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency is the clear blueprint. Slash bureaucratic bloat, he says. Eliminate redundancy, he says, in all federal departments. Replace them with AI. Over 62,000 government positions were eliminated. An additional 317,000 were gone by December 31, 2025, representing 10% of the entire federal workforce. It is not cost-cutting, it is re-imaging and replacing government operations with AI. In the Department of Veterans Affairs, an AI system processes claims in minutes rather than in the months it took human reviewers. It is processing 400,000 claims automatically without any human intervention, or bathroom, or lunch break, or pensions. It has saved $1.5 million in labor cost. The Treasury Department has deployed AI fraud detection systems that prevented and recovered over $4 billion, representing a more than 500% efficiency improvement over human power. One AI system alone identified 2.5 billion in high-risk transactions that might otherwise have gone undetected, which previously required hundreds of specialized analysts. Have these people found other jobs? The General Services Administration has deployed AI-powered automation systems that have saved 17,000 work hours in contract management alone. Not salaried management, contract management. Their AI system can automatically process contract closures in seconds rather than the previous hours of manual labor, using dozens of acquisition specialists. Have these persons found similar jobs or jobs paying the same wages and benefits locally? Similar changes are taking place in the Social Security Administration, Medicare and Medicaid, etc. What public officials won't publicly acknowledge is the brutal truth. What is the brutal truth? The vast majority of these eliminated positions will never return there or anywhere else, where they are replaced by AI. They are being permanently replaced by AI systems that work 24/7, never call in sick, never require pensions, and improve their performance daily. This is a preview of what is coming in private industry worldwide. Boards and shareholders are demanding similar transformation, if only so profit can increase rapidly and quarterly. Workers can only retain their jobs temporarily to teach AI how to do their jobs. If the notoriously change-resistant federal bureaucracy can be revolutionized by AI, no industry or position is safe. Trump's new tariff had an underlying meaning. His tariffs will and have sped up this AI takeover even faster. Why? Tariffs make imported goods even more expensive for American companies. When companies face higher costs, they look for ways to save money. AI provides a perfect solution. Replace expensive workers with technology that costs far less and never asks for a raise. Instead of hiring more workers as what was given as a reason for the tariff, companies will and are investing in AI systems which will do the work of dozens of employees. The companies that quickly adopt AI can survive despite the tariffs, while those who do not struggle to compete. What was disingenuously advertised as meant to help the American worker is actually accelerating their replacement. This is the privatization of America's intellectual foundation. What does that mean? A new economic elite is at the forefront of this AI revolution, consisting of companies like NVIDIA, Broadcom, Musk, etc. They are either creating these technologies or being the first to implement them, in words that demolish their competition. They are establishing more wealth and control. They are being the companies with the wealth, the more wealth and control. Their stock prices are soaring because they are capturing the economic value that once flowed to millions of knowledge workers across the economy in wages, wage increases, and benefits. Value is being concentrated in fewer and fewer hands at an accelerating rate. This explains the extreme rise in stock gains. Let's look at the advertising business. Omnicom is a traditional advertising giant. Founded in 1986, it employs over 77,000 professionals over 100 countries. They built their business on human creativity and strategic thinking. AppLove came along, founded in 2012. AppLove uses AI to automate online advertising with only 1,500 employees. That is 2% of the Omnicom workforce. They generated $4.7 billion in revenue last year. Companies like this are not propped up by hype. They are powered by real profit and real technological advances. Their revenue is growing at 35% annually. Omnicom's growth has stagnated around 4%. AppLove has replaced thousands of decision makers with AI systems that determine ad replacement, creative optimization, and budget allocation in milliseconds, rather than the days, and with teams overseen by pyramidal supervisors. AppLove's shares have surged 4,700% in just the 24 past months, while Omnicom's stock has faltered during the same period. It took Omnicom 40 years to achieve this kind of growth. Now AppLove has become an $89 billion company, 6 times more valuable than Omnicom, with 98% fewer employees. This is wholesale value transfer. Look what's happening in the banking industry. Traditional institutions like the Bank of America operate with massive workforces with approximately 213,000 employees. Bank of America maintains thousands of physical branches and large call centers where human representatives handle everything from account inquiries to loan applications. Enter Dave, a large technology upstart founded in 2026. Using AI, Dave has revolutionized personal banking services. Their Dave, GOI, AI assistant, handles customer service inquiries that once required human representatives. Their AI-powered credit underwriting engine makes lending decisions more accurately than traditional models. With fewer than 300 employees, but 1% of Bank of America's workforce, Dave provides banking services to 11 million customers. Well, Bank of America requires an army of people to maintain customer relationships. AI systems deliver personalized financial guidance automatically, scaling to serve additional customers without increasing staff. Dave's shares have surged as high as nearly 1,800% in recent months, while traditional banking giants have seen modest growth. Now pay attention. In the video that will follow my presentation, you will find out why Ben Affleck's 16-employee AI company was so valuable that he just now was able to sell it to Netflix for $600 million. You will hear certain keywords. You will visually see what those keywords mean to the entire film entertainment industry in Hollywood and worldwide. First, you will briefly see an empty stage with two people at a table. That is all that is physically needed to produce the film that they are producing. The rest is done with AI. Quickly, you will see AI produce filler, people, things in the background. Affleck says, take out all the logistical, technical stuff. Logistical means people finding a suitable location. Technical means shooting the production, placing wires and cables to enable the shooting, equipment, people to put these things in place, and people to use them. Also lighting equipment with lighting specialists to set them in place and to adjust the lighting for each scene and tone in the scene. Affleck says, staff gets in the way. Affleck is referring to people other than the main actors who will never be hired again because due to his AI machine, they are no longer needed to make the production. Staff, people like are now like excess junk, get in the way. For stunts, you no longer need a stuntman or puppet to do stunts. Just a photograph of a person in an outfit. No people manning wires to keep him safe or to manipulate a puppet. AI, not a person, can produce all of that. When Affleck says, reframe a shot, he means no person to video edit, no camera person to do a shot over again. Shape the lighting. It means you don't need lights. AI can reduce light and change the shades of the lighting in different parts of the set. No video editors needed to do that in editing. No lighting specialists will be hired, no people, and no costs. Enhance the background. That means AI adds or adjusts the background in accordance with one's desires. You can try out different backgrounds with AI. There will not be set people to move things or discuss different backgrounds with. AI will recreate background, enhance background, and alter the lighting as the person in charge directs it to do so. When Affleck says, you're getting more human work, he means you, the owner of the product and the machine, are getting the value of all of the human kinds of work without people. AI does the work instead of humans doing it. The machine owner is getting the value of human labor without the employment cost of salary, health insurance, sick and vacation leave, etc. Think of all the people like you whose many jobs are replaced by a machine across the entire entertainment industry worldwide. Look at the cost savings called profit to the machine owner. Thank you for listening. And now watch the video.
You and I can go shoot a movie on a stage, and we can really focus on the performance and the intention and the meaning and the humanity of it. I want to take out all the logistical, difficult, technical stuff that often gets in the way. You can use your own model to remove the wires on stunts, reframe a shot, get a shot you missed, shape the lighting, enhance the backgrounds. You can take some of those problems out. Yes, you can do it more quickly, you can do it more easily, you're giving more choice, you're giving more opportunity, you're getting more episodes of your favorite shows, you're getting more human work.
Okay, we're going to get into what he just said, or more importantly, what he didn't say. But first, this struck me as very strange. His company, Interpositive, they've got only 16 employees, no website, no public product. Well, I dug into the 500-page patent filings, and you're going to want to see this because quietly, the studios are about to go after Below the Line in a big way. I'm Jason Fisher, the founder of Stage Runner and former head of production at Disney, Paramount, and AMC. And before we get into their plans, listen to how Affleck sort of leaves out what this all means for production and jobs.
Interpositive is a tool that's designed to solve the specific problems that I'd encountered as a filmmaker that connect you more to the filmmaking. It's not about text prompting or generating something from nothing. You're building a model from your own material. That's how this works. You have to create your movie essentially first before you can really build your model around your movie using AI. And once you do that, you have your model.
Sounds reasonable, right? You film your scenes normally on a stage with your director focusing exclusively on performances, right? Well, sort of. This patent reveals the goal to disintermediate the most expensive parts of filmmaking, and the filings claim that they can conservatively slash below-the-line costs by up to 20%, and they identify specific departments that they're targeting. Locations and set construction can come down by 40%, set dressing, 30%, background actors, 70%, visual effects, 50%. Now, you don't get to these kind of cuts without significant changes to production workflows. What you're seeing here is what is now being called the gray stage workflow, and it's being tested by all the studios. I created these shots to show you how this works. You shoot the actors on a bare, empty stage, minimal set dressing, no big set builds, no extras. The director only focuses on performances, and then the AI model generates the environments, inserts the background actors, adjusts lighting, all for a fraction of the cost of traditional filming, all done in post. So Netflix sees the possibility of saving up to 20% on production costs. That's roughly $3.5 billion in savings a year. And that's why they paid $600 million for this company. So now the question is, what does all this mean for the industry and of course for jobs?